Welcome back to this course. So today in this video we are going to start our new section in which we learn about MongoDB. So MongoDB is the database that we are going to use in this course. So first of all, let's see what is MongoDB. MongoDB is a cross-platform document-oriented database that provides high performance and easy scalability. So first of all, MongoDB is cross-platform, means that we can use MongoDB on every operating system. And also MongoDB is document-oriented database. This is pretty much like JSON, okay? So that's why it is document-oriented database and it provides highly performance. MongoDB is very fast and highly scalable. So this is the reason that's why we use MongoDB with Node.js, because it is very fast and scalable. Next, MongoDB works on the concept of collection and document. If you have any knowledge about database like SQL or SQL, then you know that in SQL we have tables, rows and columns. But in MongoDB, because it is document oriented database, that's why it doesn't have any table or rows and columns. In fact, it has a concept of collection and document. Okay, so first of all, let's see what is collection. So collection is a group of MongoDB documents. So document are pretty much like the rows that we use in tables. So it is the collection of documents or records. For example, we have a collection of employees. So in that collection, we have data of multiple employees. So data of each employee is known as a document. And when we gather all the data of all employees, we can say that is a collection of employees. Okay. And after that, it is equivalent to RDBMS table. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. So collection is equivalent to this table. Also, I want to tell you that MongoDB is non-relational database management system. Okay. After that, what is document? A document is a set of key value pairs. A document have dynamic schema. When we store our data in MongoDB database, it is pretty much like JSON. Okay, so we know that JSON use key value pair. Also in MongoDB, a document use a key value pair. After that, document has dynamic schema, means every document in a collection has its own fields. For example, one record has two fields, name and age. But the second may have different schema like name, age and salary. So it is highly dynamic database in which each document can have its own schema. Okay. After that, let's understand it with the help of a diagram. First of all, table. So this is table of SQL. When we use relational database or SQL, then our data is stored in form of table. Like you can see that here we have two records of employees here. If we convert this same data in non-relational database like MongoDB, then it will look like this. So this is the collection of these employees. Both database systems have same data in their own way. You can see that in the collection, we have our records in form of JSON. It is not JSON, it is pretty much like JSON. Okay, so table and collection is equivalent, like you can see in the diagram. One record in table is known as row, and one record in collection is known as document. Okay, so I hope that you understand. Next, let's discuss about some advantages of using MongoDB. First of all, MongoDB is a document database in which one collection holds different documents. As we have discussed in my previous slide, that MongoDB is document database. So in one collection, we can have different documents with different schema. So this is the biggest advantage of using MongoDB. After that, it uses JSON-like structure called BSON. Okay. So it uses a structure like JSON, that is key value, but it is not actually JSON, it is BSON. So here B stands for binary. Okay, so it is called binary JSON. After that, we have, it uses a key value pair. So it makes our work more easier because our data always will be stored in key value pair. We can access our data using that particular key. Okay, and after that, it can store multiple values. For example, if we want to store data of a blog post, okay, so we know that there are some comments on that blog. Now what we will do, we will create an array of comments and store that in our MongoDB. But when we discuss about a relational database like SQL, then we cannot store the multiple values. What we will do in that case, we create a separate table for comments and then we give that table ID to the comments field in the table. So in MongoDB, it is very easy to manage multiple values. We simply pass array of those values. After that, MongoDB is easy to scale. As I have discussed before, it is highly scalable. That's why it is most commonly used with Node.js. After that, it is most popular database with Node.js. So you have listened about the stacks like mean and merge. So in both stacks, we have MongoDB common. So MongoDB is most popular database used with Node.js. and that's why we are using MongoDB with Node.js in this course. So these are some advantages of using MongoDB. When we will write our queries of MongoDB, then you will have a better understanding that how these all concept works. So I hope that you understand what we have discussed in this video. So in our next video, we are going to install MongoDB, and after that we will start writing our queries. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video, we have seen that what is MongoDB and what are advantages of using MongoDB. And today in this video, we are going to set up our MongoDB environment, and also we are going to install the MongoDB software in our systems. Okay. So first of all, you have to go to mongodb.com official website. Then you have to click on the software, then the community server. Click on that. And after that, simply click on this download MongoDB button from here. And after that, you have to click on this Mongo community server. Click on that. Then you have to select the version, which is the 4.2.2, which is the current release. Select that. Then select the operating system, Windows. You can select operating system according to your system, and then click this package. I use MSI. Then click on this download button. And thanks you for downloading MongoDB community server, and you can see that the downloading has been started. So I have already downloaded, so I simply cancel it from here and go to the folder where I have this MongoDB setup. Go to your download folder and simply open that setup. Simply click on next. I accept, next. Click on this complete button, then next, next, and install. It will take some time to install into your computer systems. After completing the installation, you have to simply click on this finish button and click on no right now. And then you have to set the environment variable for MongoDB. Okay, so simply go to your local disk C, then program files, then MongoDB, then server 4.2 bin, and simply copy this path from here. Copy, go to environment variable. I type here environment, so edit system environment variables. Click on that. Click on environment variables, then click on this path, edit, and add here new. Paste that link path here and click on OK, OK, and OK. And before doing anything, one more thing you have to do here is you have to simply go back to local disk C, and here you have to create a new folder with the name data, and in this folder you have to create another folder with the name DB. So our database will store our local database files in this folder. Okay, so you have to create these folders by your own in local disk C. First of all, the data, and in data folder you have to create a folder with the name DB. Okay, after that, simply you have to run the MongoDB server. Okay, you can use the command prompt, you can use the PowerShell, you can use the Git bash, whatever you want. I'm going to simply use the Visual Studio Terminal, which is Git bash. So I simply make it bigger like this. You have to type here, first of all, you have to start the MongoDB server. For that, you have to type here MongoD. Whenever you use local database, for example, we want to use database locally, we want to store our database or our data in this computer. So for that purpose, you have to run the MongoDB server first. But when we use our online database, then we don't have to start our server by typing MongoD. Okay, so right now we are using the local database. So I simply type here MongoD and press enter, and you can see that our server has been started successfully. Okay, so our server has been started. You can see that listening on this local host on this port 27017. So MongoDB listens on this port on this local host. Okay, so our server has been started. Now you have to click on this plus button to open new Git bash terminals. You can see that this is one which is running MongoD server. You have to click on this plus button. Now we are using the second bash terminal. Okay, so here you have to simply type Mongo, M-O-N-G-O, and now we are in terminal of Mongo. We can write our MongoDB queries here. This means that our MongoDB has been set up successfully, and now we can use that and write our queries. Okay, so this is a video in which we have set up the MongoDB environment. In our next video, we are going to start creating our new databases and write our own queries to understand MongoDB. Okay, so I hope that you understand. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video we have set up the MongoDB, and today in this video we are going to use our simple MongoDB queries to create database, to delete database, to create collections, to delete collections, like that. Okay, so first of all I simply type here MongoDB to start my server. I press enter and can see that our server has been started on port 27017. Okay, so I open my new terminal here and I type here simply Mongo to start my Mongo terminal. I press enter and you can see that my Mongo terminal has been started. First of all, to create a database you have to type here use and then the name of database. For example, I type here Amazon, which is the name of the database. When I type this use Amazon and press enter, you can see that switch to DB Amazon. This means that our database has been created. Now if I type here simply DB, you can see that I get Amazon, which is right now selected database. Because we are using this Amazon, when you press DB, you can see that which database are you currently on. Okay, so I am currently on Amazon. And now to see all databases that you have right now, you can simply type the query show DBs, show DBS. When I press enter, you can see that I don't have Amazon in this list, because whenever we create a new database, we always have to insert some data in that, otherwise we cannot see that. Okay, so right now show DB doesn't work, it doesn't show our new database. Okay, so for that we have to simply insert some data in that. So I simply type here db.products. Dot can confuse with this query. Right now we are going to learn about that in our next video. So dot insert to insert some data, and I type here name. I type here MacBook and I press enter. So inserted successfully. Now if I type here show DBs, so I simply type here show SHOW-DBS. Now you can see that Amazon is present in this list. Okay, so these are the three commands. First of all, whenever we want to create database, we can simply type use and then type the name of database Amazon. So then our database will be created. Then to know that which database we are currently using, we can simply type here DB and it will give you the name of database right now which you are using, this time Amazon. And to show all databases, you can simply type here show DB, give you all the list of all databases right now locally. Okay, now we know that we have to create a collection in database. So to do that, I simply type here db dot create collection, then type the name of the collection. I type here users, like that, and press enter, and it is successful. And now to show all the collections, you have to simply type here show collections, press enter, and you can see that we currently have two collections, products and users. But you may got a question in your mind that we have just created user collection, from where these products come from. When we type statement like this db.products.insert, MongoDB automatically creates this collection for us. We don't have to create collection manually, but we can do that by using this function, which is create collection. But we don't have to do that. MongoDB will create that for us. Okay, now we can also delete this users collection. To do that, I simply type here db.users.drop. Okay, so DB means that the current database, the users is the collection, which is this one. And then we have to type the drop, which means that delete this user collection from this database. Okay, I press enter. You can see that true means that our collection has been deleted successfully. Now if I type here show collections and press enter, you can see that we only have one collection, which is products, like this. Okay, we can also delete our entire database. So for that, I simply type here db.drop database, like this. Okay, so this DB means that the database currently we are using, drop that currently using database. Simple as that. And when I press enter, you can see that dropped Amazon OK1 means that the Amazon database has been successfully deleted. Now if I type here show DBs, you can see that Amazon is not present in this list. It has been deleted successfully. Okay, so we have learned 6 queries in this video. So I just conclude them. First of all, if I go to top, Whenever we want to create a database, we simply type here use, then the name of database, which is this one. Okay, so use Amazon, it will create the Amazon database for us. Then to show that which database we are currently using, we can simply type db and it will return us the current database that we are using, which is right now Amazon. Okay, and the third one is show dbs. To show all databases, we can use show dbs command to show our all databases. Okay, and after that we have used this create collection query. Okay, so whenever we want to create a collection, we can simply type here db, which is the current database dot create collection. That means that create collection in current database with the name users, and it will create that collections for us. Okay, I repeat it once again, we don't have to create collections by our own manually. MongoDB will create for us automatically. Okay, after that, to show all the collections in that database, you can simply type the command like show collections, and it will give you the all collection list that is present in that database. Okay, so in this case there are two collections in that database, products and users in Amazon database. And after that, you can also delete a collection. To do that, we have to simply type here db, which is the current database, then dot users, which is the collection, then use this drop method to delete this collection. Okay, and we can also delete the entire database. To do that, I simply type here db dot db means the current database dot drop database. In simple words, this means that delete the current database. Okay, so it is successfully dropped here, and when we type show dbs again, you can see that Amazon is not present in this list. Okay, so these are the 6 queries that we have learned today. These are simple one. In this video, we have just learned how we can create database, how we can view our database, how we can create collections, how we can delete collections, how we can delete database. Okay, so in our next video, we are going to learn the queries that help us to create documents in collections. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video, we have seen that how we can create database, how we can delete database, how we can create collections, delete collections, all stuff like that. Okay, so today in this video, we are going to see some queries that help us to insert or create new documents in collections. Okay, so for that, I simply go to Mongo terminal and type here use Amazon to create Amazon database, because we have deleted Amazon database in our previous video also. So I simply type here use Amazon to create Amazon. Then I simply type here the query that help us to insert documents in collection. Okay, so I simply type here db, which is the current database, that is Amazon, dot the name of the collection. We know that we don't have to create the collection manually. MongoDB will create that for us. Okay, so I simply type here products. I want to enter some products of Amazon in this database. So I simply type here db.products, and products is the name of the collection. Then I use the method called insert. Now we have two insert methods. One is insert one and one is insert many. Insert one help us to insert only one document at a time, and insert many help us to insert more than one documents in collection. So first of all, I use the insert one because I want to insert only one document right now in this collection, which is the products. Then in this method, I have to pass an object like this, and in here I simply type here name, which is MacBook. Then I pass comma here and type here price 1500. Then again comma, and then type here category, and then type here computers, like that. Okay, so first of all, I have typed here db, which is the current database. Then I have used this dot products, which is collection that MongoDB will create that automatically for us. Okay, so db dot this collection, which is products, and insert one method help us to insert one document at a time in the collection. Okay, so insert one, and in this function we have to pass object that we want to insert. Okay, we know that MongoDB use key value pair. Okay, so this is name is the key and MacBook is the value, price is the key and 1500 is the value. So name is MacBook, price is 1500, and category is computers. Okay, so when I simply press enter here, you can see that acknowledge true and inserted ID, object ID, means that our document has been successfully inserted in this collection. Okay, so if I simply type here db.products.find, now find method help us to show all the documents in this collection, which is products. When I press enter, you can see that I have one object here, okay, that has name MacBook, price 1500, and category computers. You can see that we also have one more data here, that is ID. So this ID is automatically created by MongoDB for us, which is always unique. We can use this ID to find any document in that collection. So right now we have only one object in this collection, which is this one. Okay, so now let's see how we can use insert many method to insert more than one documents at a time. So I simply type here db, which is the current database, dot products, which is the name of the collection, then dot insert many, and in this I have two pass objects that I want. Okay, so I simply separate them. I want to insert two objects. Okay, so I simply type here name, I type here like iPhone 11, then I type price, I type here 900, then I type here the category, I type here electronics. Okay, after that I enter the second object that I simply type here name, which is headphone, like that, and then I have to insert the price, which is like $100, and then I have to insert here the category. Simply type here electronics. Okay, so first of all we have used db.products, then we have used the insert many method. In that method we have to pass more than one objects to insert many objects at a time. Okay, so this time we are passing two objects, one is this one and one is this one. Okay, so I simply press enter here. First of all, I want to tell you that I forgot that whenever we want to use the insert many method, we have to pass it in an array. Okay, I simply just start an array here like this. I type here this one and here type here again. Okay, so you can see that whenever we want to use the insert many method, we always have to pass array of objects. I forgot to mention that. You can see that insert many method, then we have to pass an array like this. Okay, so this is array. In array we have to pass multiple objects. Okay, so now if I press enter here, you can see that insert IDs, we have inserted two objects in our collection, which is the product. So I simply type here db.products.find. Now you can see that we have three products right now in this collection, which is MacBook, iPhone, and headphone. So these are the two commands that help us to insert data in the collection. So I just repeat these queries once again. First of all, I have used the insert one method, db, which is the current database, then we have products, which is the collection, then we have used this insert one method to insert only one object in the collection, which is products. Okay, and then in this function we have to pass an object that contains data. Okay, then we have used the insert many method and we forgot to put array in that. Whenever we want to use insert many method, we have to pass an array of objects. Okay, so you can see that here db.products insert many, then in this function I have passed this array. You can see this bracket and this bracket, and in this array we have to pass these objects. We have to pass array of objects. Okay, and after you can see that we have inserted all three products in our database. So I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. So in our next video we are going to discuss about how we can use the reading queries. Okay, so I will see you next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video we have inserted some data in our collection, which is the products. So in this video we are going to learn all the queries that help us to read data or help us to find the data. You have to pay your attention on this video because in this video we are going to learn about 10 to 15 queries. Okay, so first query is that how we can find all the documents in a collection. So first of all, I simply type here use Amazon, which is our current database. Now I simply type here db.products.find. we have also learned this query in our previous video. When I press enter, you can see that we get all the documents in the collection. Okay, so this is the first query that will help us to read or find all the documents in that collection. Okay, now the next query is that db.products.find. You can see that this data is not formatted like JSON. Now if I want to format it, I simply type here another function that is pretty, P-R-E-T-T-Y, this one. Now if I press enter, you can see that our data has been formatted like JSON, as we have seen our data in the API. You can see that it is formatted. This is unformatted data and this is formatted data. You can use this .pretty method to structure your data if you want. Okay, so simple db.products.find all the documents in this collection, and then pretty means that format that documents. Okay, so now if I want to find some specific document in this collection, for that I simply type here db.products.find, and in this find I have to pass an object. I simply type here find the object that has name MacBook, like this. Now if I press enter, you can see that I only get one result here, which is MacBook. So if I want to find some specific document, I can simply type here db.products.find, then pass the object in that. Okay, now let's write this query again. If I type here db.products.find and I type here category, and I type here for example electronics, and I press enter, you can see that this time I get only one result. Okay, so we have just misspelled our spellings here. We can fix that when we will learn about update queries. Right now you can see that if I just type a category electronics, you can see this object here right now. Okay, here is this electronics, I have misspelled C here, that's why it is giving only one object. Okay, now the next query is if I just want to show some specific data of the object. For example, if I just want to find all the documents in collection and I just want to read their names. For example, if I type here db.products.find, this means that find all the products. Then I simply type here another parameter and type here name, and I type here 1. And when I press enter, you can see that I get all the documents, but I get only names of them. So if you want to see some specific data or specific fields of document, you can simply type here document.find, then the name equal to 1, means that I just want to read the names of that documents only. Okay, you can see that ID is also here. If I want to hide the ID, I can simply type here db.products.find all the products, then I want to show only names and I don't want to show the ID, so I simply type here 0. Now if I press enter, you can see that we only get names here, like that. So in this way we can also select some specific fields in document. Okay, now we can also use one more method here. If I just get back my previous query and type here one more method, which is limit. If I type here limit 2, means that I only want to show first 2 documents. I type here 2, when I press enter, you can see that I only get 2 results here. Okay, if I just get back that query and type here 1 and press enter, you can see that I only get 1 record here. So we can use the .limit method to only show limited amount of results. Okay, so next we have to learn about less than, greater than, less than, equal to, and greater than equal to. Okay, so if we want to find the products that has price greater than $150, so how we can do that? To do that, I simply type here db.products.find, this method, and here I type this object and type here price, and now I have to tell that I want to select all the products or all the documents that has price less than $150. So I simply type another object here and type here $, less than 150, like this. Okay, so db.products.find, then I simply pass here object that says price then colon, then another two curly brackets, and in these brackets I simply type here $sign, then LT means less than 150, like that. Okay, and if I press enter here, you can see that I only get one result here, that is 100. So this time headphones is less than $150, so we get this result. If I type here LTE means less than equal to, now if I press enter, you can see that I get same result, that is 100, because 100 is less than 150. Okay, now if I want to get the products that has price greater than 800, so for that I simply get my query back and type here GT, which means greater than 800. I want to find all the products that are greater than 800. I press enter, you can see that I get two results here. This MacBook, which is $1,500, and iPhone 11, which is $900. And now we can also use our fourth command, that is greater than equal to. If I just type here GTE and type here 900 and I press enter, again I get two results right here. Okay, so these are four queries: less than, equal to, greater than, and greater than equal to, that help us to filter our documents or our data. Now we also have two more queries, that is and or query. Okay, so if I want to find product that has price less than 200 and its category must be electronics, so for that I have to use the and. So I simply type here db.products, then I type here find, and in there I first of all type the curly brackets and type here $sign and, because I want to find the product that has price less than 200 and its category must be electronics. So for that I simply type here and I put colon here and pass an array here. So in this array I have to pass the objects. The first one is the price, so I simply type here price, which must be $sign less than 200. Okay, and after that category must be electronics. I don't type C here because I have misspelled electronics here, so I will fix that in our next video when we'll discuss about update queries. Okay, so for right now I'm going to type here electronics, like that. Okay, now you can see that query products.find, and I have used this and here. Then I want to find the products that has price less than 200 and category must be electronics. Okay, now if I just press enter here, you can see that I get a result here, this headphone that has price less than $200 and its category is electronics. Okay, so in this way we can also use this and to filter our results. Now to use the or, I simply type here or instead of and. So I remove that and I type here I want to find all the products that has price greater than 500, that has price greater than 500 and their category must be electronics, like that. And now if I just press enter, you can see that I get two results here, these two ones. Okay, so first one has price greater than 500, which is 1500, so that's why it prints here. You can see its category is computer. Okay, now we have used or operator, that means that the result must satisfy this condition or this condition. So this time it satisfies this one, which is price greater than 500, and for the second document the price is also greater than 500 and category is also electronic, so that's why it prints it here. So these are the commands that help us to find query, that help us to filter our documents. I hope that you understand. I know that this is a bit confusing right now, but you have to learn these queries. We have to build these queries according to our projects. So I hope that you understand. So in our next video we are going to learn about queries that help us to update documents. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video we have discussed that how we can use the queries to filter or find our documents. Okay, so in this video we are going to see the queries that help us to update our documents. So first of all, let's see how we can use that. I simply type here use Amazon database. Now to update the documents, so first of all I type here db.products.findAll, like that. Now first of all I want to update the price of this MacBook. Okay, I want to change its price to $1,600. So what I do, I simply type here db.products.update. Now we have two update methods. One is update one and one is update many. Now whenever we use update one, it's mean that we want to update only one document, and if we use update many, this means that we want to update more than one documents in this collection. Okay, so first of all let's use update one, and in this method first of all I type that name should is MacBook, and I want to set its new price to $1,600. So for that I simply type here comma, and in here I have to pass the new value. So I simply type here $set this one, and then colon, then again brackets, and I type here price 1600. So simple. db.products.update one method help us to update only one document in the collection. Then I pass that name is MacBook. I want to change the price of this document that has name MacBook. Okay, then I have used this set to set the new price. I simply type here $set, then I pass a price 1600 to set its new price to 1600. Okay, now if I just press enter here, you can see that acknowledged true, match count true, modified count 1 means true. This means that our data has been updated. Now if I just type here db.products.find, you can see that our new price has been set here, which is 1600. So in this way we can update data of a specific field in our MongoDB. Now for example, I want to update its category because we know that we have misspelled that in our first video. Okay, so for that I simply type here db.products.update one. First of all I type here name equals to headphone, and then I have to set the category to electronics. Okay, now if I press enter, we got some error here. So I have to type here this bracket, and I just remove one from here. Now if I press enter, it is successfully modified. I see it. You can see that our category has been successfully updated here. Now in my first video I have told you that each document can have its own schema, means that in this object we have 3 fields or 3 values. Now in second object it may have more than 3 fields. Okay, now let's insert a field in one of these objects. For example, I want to set the company of this first object only for the first object. So I simply type here db.products.update one, and I type here name MacBook, and I type here set its company to Apple. We know that there is no field Apple in this schema, but we have to add it because we know that MongoDB is dynamic database and each document can have its own schema. So simply update one where name is equal to MacBook, and set its company to Apple. Now if I just press enter and see my database again, you can see that it has one more field here, which is the company Apple, and the rest of two documents doesn't have any field like that, company. Okay, so in this way we can use the update one method. Now let's use the update many method to update more than one documents in collection. So for that I simply type here db.products.update many. Okay, and after that I simply type here their category is electronics, and I want to set, let's change electronics to simple electronic, just remove S from that. So I simply type here category to electronic. I just remove S from here. Now if I just press enter, you can see that we have here modified count 0, meaning that nothing has been updated because we have just misspelled here electronics. So I simply get back my query here and type here TRONICS. Now if I just press enter here, you can see that two documents have been modified here. Okay, so I simply search that again, find all the documents. You can see that the electronics has been changed to electronic. So in this way we can use the update many query or method to update more than one document at a time. So I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video, in which we learn about how we can delete our documents by using our queries. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video you have seen that how we can update our documents by using the update queries, and now in this video we are going to discuss about queries that help us to delete our documents from collections. Okay, so we have two methods, one is remove and one is delete many. Now with the help of remove method we can delete only one document at a time, but with the help of delete many method we can delete more than one documents at a time. Okay, so let's see how we can delete only one document at a time. So I simply type here use Amazon, and I simply type here db.products.find, like that. Now first of all I want to delete the first record, which is the MacBook. So for that I simply type here db.products.remove, and in this method I pass here remove the document that has name MacBook, like that. Okay, if I press enter here, you can see that removed one, mean that one record has been removed. If I just type here products.find db.products.find, you can see that the first record has been deleted successfully, the first document has been deleted successfully. Okay, we have only left two here. Now if I want to delete both of these queries, I just type here the delete many method. So I simply type here db.products.delete many to delete more than one document at a time. So I simply type here delete many records, delete all the documents that has category of electronics, like that, and or electronic only. We have removed S in our previous video, so I just remove S from here. So db.products.delete many where category is equal to electronic. Now if I just press enter, you can see that delete count 2 means that 2 documents has been deleted successfully. Now if I type here db.products.find, you can see that we have nothing here because we have deleted all the 3 documents in the products collection. So I hope that you understand. So in this video we have discussed about 2 methods, one is remove and one is delete many. Remove method help us to remove one document at a time, but with the help of delete many function we can delete more than one document at a time, as you have seen in this video. So this is the last video of this section in which you learn about how to delete documents from collection. So we have performed our all operations create, read, update, and delete, which stands for CRUD. And these are the operations that all developers must need to know about. I hope that you understand about that. So in our next section, we are going to learn about Mongoose, which is the package of MongoDB that help us to use MongoDB in Node.js applications and help us to develop them very quickly. Okay. So I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. So I will see you in the next video.